this is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, 11/23/2022, after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. There are powers inside of us which, if we could discover how to use, everything we ever dreamed or imagined would be. Orson Swett Marden. What is the main intention of your life? These are questions that at certain times in this life we ask ourselves. We've asked ourselves these questions in many lifetimes. Why are we here? What do we wish to see manifest for ourselves, others, this entire world? Take some time to think about this. Is there anything more important for us to think about at this time? When a civilization has been trained like this one for so long to be in a box, so to speak, and never have the awareness to leave the box, and being trained to go, aggressive and, the threat of bombs and all this stuff. Fear, anxiety, stress, worry, all that energy that we are moving into reality and experiencing. Now, we're trained to believe through the ego mind. And this is why all this upheaval happens, because it's the ego mind dictating to the heart mind. The mind often gets snagged by the thoughts it had yesterday and the day before. So we can plant and water some new seeds here. What does the greatest garden we wish to grow actually look and feel like? If we don't have a clue and remain very curious about it and don't give up on our curiosity, keep dwelling on this question of what experience do we most want to manifest for ourselves, others, this entire world? We now have the opportunity to choose which seeds we want to sow and what fruits we'll reap in the near future. Manifesting our life's mission can be as simple as daydreaming about what you want, letting it go, then simply sitting back and allowing it to show up for you to enjoy. The key, though, is about visualizing what you want, feeling that this is something that actually could happen, and truly having a positive emotion with it. Visualizing with a super strong positive emotion is like asking the universe with great assertiveness for what you want to occur. Remember, whatever you want wants you. Our desires are energetically magnetized to us based on how we feel about them. When we approach them with excitement, joy, and deep, trusting, peaceful feeling inside, they will manifest into our lives at the speed of light. When we are clear, and I emphasize the word clear, about who we are and what our life's intention is, and are living with total clarity about why we want what we want, the universe goes into hyperdrive and miraculously magical things can manifest right before our eyes. The highest reward for a person's toll is not what they get for it, but what they become by it. John Ruskin. Here's a very interesting fact for all of us. The amount of time it takes for us to physically manifest a desire is directly proportional to the length of time we can hold our attention on our intention. The amount of time it takes for us to physically manifest a desire is directly proportional to the length of time you can hold your attention on your intention. So what does this mean? It means if you can hold your attention on seeing and feeling yourself to be successful, happy, loving, and abundant for 30 seconds, you'll manifest it twice as fast and easy, as if you held that feeling, as if you held it for 15 seconds. It's also good to know that manifesting, moving energy into form, creating it into reality and experiencing it, comes even more easily to those who are patient, persistent, and who are not afraid of letting in the most exquisite levels of pleasure into their bodies. If and when we can bring our bodies past their peak state of pleasure, joy, and bliss that it's accustomed to, we will dramatically increase our ability to attract whatever it is we desire. Time yourself. How long you can joyfully maintain your attention upon your desired intention. See how long you can hold it for. If we did all the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves, Thomas Edison. Imagination and reality are respectfully the same to the universe. Each time we imagine something is happening to us, the universe immediately feels it and responds accordingly. If and when your mind is focused on your worry, concern, and fears of this world, then guess what you'll manifest? More of the same stuff. So be very, very, very aware these days when what you are focusing on. When your vibration is peaking, your thoughts can manifest into the physical world instantaneously. It's good to know your mind and how it works intimately. When you can train it to remain focused on the light that makes your heart sing, your entire life will be bellowing out with pure joy. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Bob Marley. So why do you think the propaganda on the planet is at such a high state? Right? Why is it that way? Such a high state. Convince the civilization that it's all truth. Advanced civilization that it believes in the illusion. To start boosting your manifesting energies, try this little exercise. First, sit in a chair, take 3 long, deep breaths, and relax. Imagine golden light energy entering from the base of your spine and flowing up out the top of your head with each breath you take. Do not try to control this experience. Just relax into it and flow with it. After your 3 breaths, watch your body breathe for you for 5 minutes. Let your breath guide you deeper inside until you find a calm, peaceful feeling in your body. When you're feeling some form of peace, start imagining whatever it is you want to manifest. Now focus mainly on the end result you wish to occur, and practice feeling as if it already accomplished. Let yourself feel good about this. Notice who it makes you become in your life. Let go of any attachment to how your desired end result will manifest in this physical world. And just breathe trust, patience, and peace into the idea that it is already done. When we have a perpetual single focus stream of feelings and thoughts flowing into a positively imagined experience, when we have a perpetual single focus stream of feelings and thoughts flowing into a positively imagined experience, it channels a powerful river of energy into the physical end result. The science of manifesting is super powerful, easy to learn, and very real. It occurs naturally for every one of us. And when we're consciously aligned with the technology behind it, then it becomes even more effective for us. We already have this natural gift, power inside of us. Maybe sleeping for some, for the majority, yet we can awaken it. When we intend, we create. Isn't it amazing? So we look at ourselves without judgment, and we say, what kind of world do I want for myself and the rest of the planetary population? What is it that I want? What do I want to see, feel, and experience? This is the true power of humanity. And it is so omnipotently powerful that once engaged, cannot be stopped. Ever. Beginning to know that you are part of every single being on this planet. Not the body, but the God within it. We make up one super consciousness, right? And beyond. But we're all facets of the one. So we're all experiencing different avenues throughout existence. Trillions of physical forms being supplied across this galaxy, across these universes, endlessly, all containing gods. And we know God is a word, right? Some people prefer to say, what? Energy, pure consciousness and beyond. Higher self, spirit, soul, they're all one. You go within your body to discover who and what you are, you'll come across the soul, you'll enter the soul, and you will find inside the soul the God awaits, who you are, who all of us are. So doesn't it make sense that when we want something, and we understand, when you want something and you don't understand who and what you are, it's usually going to go south. But when you begin to discover who and what you are, and you embrace the God that you are within that body, then you automatically know that whatever you intend, you're going to create. It's a collectiveness, see. Every attempt that's been made to keep all of us gods separated, or to believe that we're separated, it's a delusion, the illusion. And the mind that these bodies have, which is an illusion, the mind and ego are illusions, nonetheless, they command most of humanity. And when we begin to understand to stay in the now, and that's our choice, each of our choices, no one else's. You either decide to or you don't. And if there are things holding you back, you sit down with them and you go through it with them so they're once and for all let go of, surrendered. Do you believe that all the things that are happening on this planet would be happening? The majority of the civilization knew who and what it was within these bodies, and also operated from the heart mind and not the ego mind. And they knew that we were all one. None of this would be gone. It'd be vanished. It would absolutely be vanished permanently. That's the power each of us contain. That's the power that we are. Now, the ego mind wants us to say, no. The ego mind says, I want you, Bill, and Joe. I want you to stay in yesterday and tomorrow. That's where I want you to be all the time, yesterday, tomorrow, not the now. It's really to understand this and embrace it. Intention that you want and desire, all pure evil that has saturated this planet and the civilization to be immediately vaporized. In other words, to not exist. Now, the ego mind is going to tell you, oh, that's not possible. You can't do that. It's not possible. The heart mind will say, so it is, so it shall be. It isn't through anger, aggressiveness, It isn't low frequency, it's very high frequency. We, the gods on this planet in these bodies, experiencing physical form, do not care to have pure evil occupying this planet, or for that matter, any vessel. We don't care to have such stress, anxiety, fear, worry. Hey, we've done a bang-up job with that for thousands of lifetimes. We know what that is. We all know what that is. None of us have been exempt from it. It depends on our perspective and how we view it. Each of us, how we view it. You know, how these bodies were raised. What types of personalities and our perspectives we carry. Okay? And all the time knowing that we are not the body, the personality, or the character. So it's kind of like you go buy a starship, let's say, right? And you want all the bells and whistles. Well, it's like these bodies. And some of the bells and whistles are what? Ego mind. Yeah. Worry, stress, fear, anxiety brought on by the ego mind. And illusions on what we visualize or see outside of this body, you know, through these little black holes in our eyes. And I talk with, you know, Eastern Europe because that's where a lot of things are going on. We as a people, right, in this country, we don't, now in other lifetimes, of course, we've experienced this, but in this lifetime, we don't realize there are brothers and sisters, but we don't realize what it's like, right, to continually have your power shut off. No water, no power, no heat, off and on all day long, for hours at a time, middle of the night. And see, a lot of them can't afford generators. So families get together and pool together, and people get to pool together their monies, because the average monthly there is $300 a month. You figure out a generator, $2,000. It's really difficult to get one. Bombs and rockets exploding on a daily basis on top of that. So, and then you've got all the animals being abandoned. The shelters there are overrun. These animals are traumatized. Not only that, but hundreds and thousands of children that have been abandoned. So you see this, all the things on the planet. Doesn't it make sense that we look at it as part of each other and we say, we don't care to have this anymore? And have that intent come through the heart mind, not the ego mind, and to take the breath. And be in the now, and be the watcher, and focus on what it is. Not only do you care that you want for yourself, but that you want for everyone on the planet. This concentrated intention, whether you know it or not, because like I use the analogy, when you take a rock and drop it in the water and the water is placid, looks like glass, you do see waves, right? But eventually, from what your eyes can see, then the waves disappear and it looks as if the surface is placid again. You know, pristine, clear, not a movement. But in actuality, dropping that stone in that body of water is affecting it from shore to shore. And so then you come to the point of understanding. Is seeing believing, or is believing seeing? Ask yourselves that question. For me to believe, do I require to see? Or for me to believe is seeing, and seeing is not believing? Which one? The intention is what you put out there as an intention for yourself, your loved ones, and the planet. Knowing, again, we go into trust, faith, confidence from the heart mind in ourselves deeply and in the universe. And the universe is the best friend you could ever have. It really is. That's not wishful thinking. That's genuine understanding. And never lets you down. Never, ever lets you down. Ever. And a lot of the times, it knows better than what you know for yourself. So people say, well, where can I pull on? Where's my power? Where is your power? You, the God you are in that body, not the body. When we intend something and we stick to the intention and we have the faith, trust, and confidence in ourselves and in the universe, and we don't attach to it, right? When this happens, I'm going to be doing this and this. We leave it alone. We let it go. That's the confidence, faith, and trust that we have in ourselves and the universe. We let it go. It's done. We have manifested it. It is already forming. Don't you now understand? Pure evil tries to counteract us. Okay? They have their groups that try to counteract our groups. Pretty much par for the course. It isn't a, surprise for us. If we're doing it, right, they're doing it. Now, the interesting thing is, in number of gods compared to the number of gods they have, that they are, what are we looking at? We far exceed their numbers. And focusing just for you. The breath will guide you deeper inside until you find a calm, peaceful feeling in your body. And it means when we all can hold our attention on seeing and feeling ourselves to be successful, happy, loving, and abundant for just 30 seconds, we will manifest it twice as fast and easy. As if you held that feeling for 15 seconds. This is this civilization's true power. It isn't guns. It isn't bombs. It isn't the threat of war. It's the gods within us, omnipotently powerful. Isn't it ironic that we scurry around on this planet like cattle being herded to slaughter, and we don't know it? We're so caught up in the material physical world that we don't know who and what we are within these bodies. That's the main culprit of discontent on this planet. That's the enemy. Because, see, this civilization is quickly approaching a no turn back, only forward. And the forward movement is accelerating. And more people are embracing themselves, beginning to open up more to themselves, understanding to themselves. When we, each of us, okay, when we haven't discovered yet to love ourselves deeply and eternally, okay, we have not discovered yet the power, the God that we are within these bodies, the pure consciousness and beyond. Right? That's who we really are, and we do not die. Yeah, the body, the suit, it gets weathered, and then we leave it, right? And then we get another one. But this is a self-discovery. When we go through surrendering and forgiving ourselves of anything in this life, and maybe past lives that have come with us, that what we feel guilty about, or things that we don't feel we should have done or said, these are all crucial elements to clean us out of all of the bicameral and ego mind goop. Clean us out. Surrender. Let go of all of this stuff that we don't need, but we carry. Once you know yourself and love yourself, you will be able to love others and know them as they will themselves, and so on and so forth. If you walked up to one that's asleep, right, and you said to them, I'd like all of us to sit quietly, and I want to guide you all in a focus of your breath. All right? Their response would probably be, okay, this gal or guy is a little wacky. But the unity of the people, not only in this country but around the world, unity, dropping all prejudices, taking command of the ego mind rather than it taking command of you, forgiving, surrendering yourself throughout life, throughout this life, on anything that you've been carrying with you that you don't need. Letting go the guilt, letting go the suppression, the anxieties, the fears. You just let them go. I don't care to have you in my life. Thank you very much for teaching me what you've taught me. You may go. And we're going to do before we go into quiet time, I want everybody to breathe. Don't, some people fixate, they just like take in way too much air. Easily, slowly, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus on your breath. The ego mind pulls you back out. Go back in. Focus on the breath. Listen to your breath. Picture yourselves watching everything on the planet, right? So you're not in the body, so to speak. You're watching everything. You, the God, is watching everything transpire on this planet, all hidden, all subversive, all pure evil activities, all pain and suffering, all fear, anxiety, and stress, all of it. You're watching it. You're not judging any of it. You're watching it. So we're all kind of suspended, watching all of these actions take place. The children, all of it. And so what we do is we all come together in a pillar above the planet. All of us join, merge with the gods that we are. We form this massive pillar of golden, white, pink light. You can see it because it's vibrating through the heart mind, and you can see it instantaneously form because it is us, the gods that we are. Now this column is filled with endless, pure, deep, eternal love. Filled with. The highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. That which we're all made of. Now, as we're focused on our breath, in the now, with each, we literally send this golden white pink, it's almost like a liquid, okay? Pure energy, pure, deep, eternal love. And it begins to cover the entire atmosphere of the planet. It completely enrobes it. This is saturating and permeating and flooding all existences in our atmosphere with pure, deep, eternal love. We're watching this. And we're motioning the energy with our intentions on where to go. So then, once we've surrounded and robed this planet, Earth, Gaia, Art, in this pure, deep, eternal love, golden, white, pink light, shimmering, glittering, and you don't need to get near it because it is the gods that we are, and it is so omnipotently powerful that you can hear the love. Not only feel it, but hear it and see it. And then we motion it to go to the surface of the planet and to permeate, saturate, and flood all things, everything, beneath the surface of the planet, to the planet's very center. Our atmosphere saturated, permeated. All forms of life. The pure evil, the in-between, all of it. This is not only the human body, but all species housed on this planet and in it. And then we watch as we infuse it and really boost it several times. And then in one breath, we release, because we've literally energized it several times more than what we initially created. And then you witness something, as we're all watching this column of golden white pink light of pure deep eternal love. We're watching as the pure evil is absolutely vaporized instantaneously. You can see it. It's like, and this popping is happening all over the planet, and you visualize it through the heart mind, through your breath, in the now, as the watcher. Not the participant, but the watcher. And as this is taking place, right in this very moment, you begin to feel a jubilation, an excitement, a pure bliss, a joy. And all this emanates from the gods we all are in these bodies. And you visualize this as much as you choose to, always in the now, during the course of this day, during the course of this evening and this night and the following morning. Visualize it. Visualize it as often as you choose to. You have the foundation. The column that we've created, made from the love that all of us are, pure, deep, eternal energy, pure consciousness. Focus on what it is. What is it that we all want? We want a God planet paradise for everyone. Everyone. In order for that, we move energy into form, we create it into reality, and we experience it. Now, we all know that what we've experienced today, really, I believe we've experienced enough of that sort of energy. It's time that we focus on what we want, how we want this planet to be, and she's in total agreement with us. And she's in that column of golden, white, pink light. And we saturate everything. Everything. When you're out and about during the holidays, right? And you're around people, and you know, that energy could be really erratic, or at times it can have some bright spots. Visualize that column of golden, white, pink light, pure, deep, eternal love, saturating, permeating, and flooding everything and everyone that you pass by, on the road, on foot, in the air, wherever you may be. Focus on this intent. Focus on that you want, we all want a God planet paradise. That means there's no room for the lower dark matter frequencies to inhabit our space. It isn't. And by increasing our vibrational frequencies, I can guarantee each and every one of you that this will make a massive impact on this planet, and you will begin to see things manifest through your intentions. Because you see, as a civilization, as the gods that we are, close to 8 billion of us, we have the opportunity to manifest anything we desire collectively. And this also assists us in moving higher frequency. We're actually helping each other. And by helping each other, we're helping ourselves. And by helping ourselves and each other, we are the collective pure consciousness, a massive number of gods unified as one. Is there any higher power in all existence and beyond? To pure consciousness and beyond? No, not even close. We are the power of creation. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Remain still. Enlightenment comes like a bolt of lightning, yet can trickle throughout our lives like a slow, soothing stream. Investigate today how you casually react to people. Notice if you generally have a protective hardness, lightness, resistance, friendliness, defensiveness, pushiness, or perhaps a needy energy. Watch what typical reaction you have with others and don't change it. Let it change into something else on its own. Be patient with it. Ask it questions that might unravel its past. Don't be attached to what comes about. Simply drop into it profoundly. Choose to be in your heart of programming deeply and let the self-realization come out of it. This is the only thing that will stop the habits and is how we will evolve quickly in our consciousness. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Time for Change call, and Thursday, Thanksgiving, 11/24/2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be good to yourself.